This is an Audio Wool original.
This episode of Frightday is brought to you by Gates of Hell Chipotle Hot Sauce by Frightday. Bold chipotle flavor blended with habanero peppers for just the right burn. Kissed with garlic and passion fruit. Zero human blood, like none at all. Visit shop.frightday.com before the first batch disappears.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/frightday.
Frightday. I'm your host, Byron. Cincinnati, Fort Lauderdale, San Antone. There's no denying cities have personalities, and sometimes a change of scenery, especially in your formative years, can be a breath of fresh air. Oyster World. This is all wonderful stuff. Like the world's your oyster. If you're a college-aged young adult, but if you're a serial murderer, maybe you should ask yourself if it's lame or not to switch primary weapons from knife to gun. And we'll talk about that, even if it's just for a little bit. Horny roommates, legacy, and family tonight as we review Matt Bettinelli-Olpin's and Tyler Gillette's Scream 6. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
Hello.
And Sam can't make it, but he's watching from another apartment.
He is indeed. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
What is the personality of Cincinnati?
I don't. Sky, was it Sky Mile chili? There's a sweet chili in Cincinnati.
Sky Mile?
I don't know what the
like
fuck
Delta
it's called.
Sky Miles.
I'm not sure.
You're losing your mind. Did you do a CBD drink?
Come on. You fucking outing me here? I may have had a half a CBD drink. I'm doing fine. California changed me, folks.
You are, did some ayahuasca, now you're microdosing, and you've got...
Come on now.
You're doing CBD drinks
I had a half of a CBD drink.
I'm joking. Obviously, I think you should chug the CBD drinks. I just find it massively amusing that you say you did.
Non-psychoactive.
That's good.
So Dennis isn't here, by the way. My witness protection girlfriend, Michelle, is right here doing the cameras.
Yeah, and by the way, Dennis, you've been outed. What you do is not special.
Not hard.
Either that or Michelle is a savant, one or the other, because Michelle's figured it out in about 35 seconds.
Well, Kelly's camera does look like shit because Dennis... I had to hook up a different camera because he kept the lens of another one. So sorry, everyone watching live. And that would be the folks. I think this is going up for the folks in the Frightday Society. Members of that get the video version of the podcast, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
This is our monthly live episode. Monthly. This is the third one that we've done. What's a tight wire walk? Tight rope, tight wire. I'm fine. I'm not on CBD. Don't look at me like I am.
I'm not looking at you like anything, Byron.
What's the personality of San Antone? I was going to say Fort Lauderdale, but that you would...
Florida man is all you need for Fort Lauderdale. San Antone, I don't know. I actually hear San Antonio is kind of a fun place.
I haven't been. I bet we have a listener or two there.
I bet we do too. I've heard it's pretty cool.
Write in. Contact at frightday.com. Let us know what that city is like.
2021 was the year of Texas for me. This is the year of beef, but that was the year of Texas.
So
I learned a lot more about Texas. No, I just realized not all of Texas sucks as much as I thought it did.
But certain parts got way worse, in your opinion, when Joseph Rogan moved there. But
yeah, although, did you hear about Rogan drinking himself a Bud Light during a show and pissing everyone off?
Good for him. If I drank beer, I'd be a Bud man right now.
Yeah, boy, everyone got real angry. Well, Travis Tritt and Kid Rock were just losing their shit. Fucking
That's awesome.
Dumbest. Just the dumbest dumb.
We have takes.
It fucking hurts my head to think about it.
Tomorrow during Casual Frightday, if you're listening live, make sure to come back tomorrow. The boys and I are talking about a new beer. An anti-woke beer.
What's the anti-woke beer?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Who's making it? Who's funding it?
There's a very entertaining commercial that is advertising this, and you'll just have to tune in to find out.
Amazing.
I'll send it your way. But
amazing.
This is a spooky show. We talk about spooky stuff. A film that I thought would never happen and don't really care about got announced. Five Nights at Freddy's is in production.
Okay, so I saw that, but tell me what it is.
I don't know. Video game. It's It's like a point and click kind of nighttime. You're in almost like a Chuck E. Cheese type place.
I should have asked Sam about
like
it.
Vibes are good, but it just seems like a little kid's game to me, and I'm a big guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't not picture you as the old guy from Up every time.
I love that. It makes me like him more.
All right. But that's not the only thing that Blum talked about or announced recently.
Right. This is something that I don't know, Byron, maybe we should do a one-off episode on this. It's a weird story. It's
maybe when the film comes out, we do an episode about it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It's not a film. So let's just talk through this.
Okay. I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I read a little bit about this.
Yeah. Little weird creature haunting known as Mr. Entity haunted this family, the Moffat family, for generations.
That Mr. E guy, that guy who negs girls, the pickup artist.
A man who goes by only one name.
Mystery.
Nope.
I'm Mr. Entity.
You're Mr. Entity.
Yeah, it's mysterious.
Yep, it's very mysterious. I bet Michelle's real excited about that. So last year there was this viral article. A woman named Jessica Moffat wrote it about this terrifying haunting they had over a period in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Mm-hmm. We know that the Warrens investigated it at one point. There were other paranormal investigators that came in, but Jason Blum bought their story.
Is this based on the book Unwelcomed, the true story of the Moffat family haunting?
So
I think Deborah Moffat put it out. Is that the...
Yeah, it's Deborah and Jessica. So Jessica was the one that wrote the story last year. Their grandmother, Lee Moffat, was subject to some of this. There was something tied to like history with the mafia. I don't know.
So is that where they got the name?
Moffat?
And mafia? Is that
Moffat, mafia? I mean, it could be. Maybe it goes back that deep. I don't really know. I'm just thinking
it's maybe something they made up on the spot, and they're like, I wrote that.
So they're going to talk about that history. It's an unscripted show. Maybe do a movie with it as well, but it's starting out as unscripted show on ITV America's Good Caper content. So
There's too many of them. I mean, I'm kind of excited now. Thanks for coughing into the mic.
I apologize.
That Discovery and HBO Max are merging. Too many of them.
Yeah.
Let's push them together.
Yeah.
It's now just called Max, which is nice.
Okay, well, that's weird, but sure.
Well, I don't know.
As long as I can still steal it from my parents, I don't care.
I think we pay for those, by the way.
Oh, I should probably log into that one then.
Kelly.
Okay.
Just read our statements.
I did.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of interested in the idea of Blumhouse stepping into unscripted.
Right. So reality TV, I have no doubt it's going to be super cheesy. There are some photos that they've posted from this haunting that are a little bit creepy. I don't know enough about it to know if this is a story with any type of legs rooted in reality, but I would like to do an episode on it, Byron.
Yeah.
Could be fun. Blumhouse Television. Did you know that there was...
I know that this isn't the first time they've stepped into television, but...
Well...
I don't know if this is them. I saw someone is doing like a TikTok, like mini... I'm unprepared.
Like
about
the Moffats?
No, not about the Moffats. When you're thinking about new forms of media in horror, like remember a while ago there was a Snapchat horror film where it was pieced together in little increments over the course of a weekend? No, it was really cool. But Bloody Disgusting is actually releasing a horror film in snippets very similar.
On Snapchat?
I think this time it's going to be TikTok. I don't know.
I thought TikTok got canceled.
What? Just because
we can't have TikTok because of
not on
China, right?
Campuses or
somebody say that?
Government phones or something. But if you want to know more about that, I think Jacob's writing a full article about this thing at Frightday.com.
Oh, by the way, side note, I have some exciting news about Jacob.
You guys are friends now.
Well, he texted me.
Okay.
He said, okay, I did a thing. And he sent pictures of the entire Twin Peaks series and Twin Peaks The Return.
But what is he doing?
He's watching it all.
Well, he also purchased a Steelbook DVD Blu-ray special edition of Tremors after our scuffle on Behind the Screams.
Because he felt guilty that he hadn't... Oh, come on, Jacob.
March Mildness, he was just like, I think that... I mean, because personally I talked very highly about Tremors, and he had never seen it, and he did vote against me, and therefore tanked it on March Mildness this year.
Thank God.
So he did watch it. I don't know if I have his opinion on it, but we have wrapped that up. If you want to know the results of that, you can go to
Also,
the FrightdaySociety.org.
Jacob, I spoke with a colleague of mine today who's at Yale, and I didn't realize this, but Dasha came and spoke at Yale a while ago, so we should chat about that.
All right.
Apparently, she was all sorts of fun.
We don't need to. We don't need to talk about that. She did a model for Online Ceramics' new Silent Hill 2 line that just came out, which is kind of interesting. But staying busy. Dasha from
Fuck you, Dasha.
65th, 4th, doesn't matter.
Worst movie ever.
So you're sick. You brought that over here.
I did. No.
Are you too sick to work?
No.
Good, because these DVD copies...
Oh.
Which I haven't picked one yet. I'll just look at the wall behind me of Closer. Aren't going to put themselves away.
Oh my God. Can we talk about that movie?
It's time
and
for
the last
staff picks.
scene of that movie? That song.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Have you seen that movie?
Can we not talk about that right now?
The Blower's Daughter.
And also,
that last song.
Since Dennis is not here, I have to pull these sounds up. Sorry, folks.
Top
watching
3
live.
crying movies for me. Now I'm going to cry.
Please don't.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to cry.
Here we go.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling, horror, straight ahead.
Maybe Dennis is good for something. That wouldn't have been so clunky if Dennis was here.
Oh God, you're gonna
You're
have to
obsessed
talk.
with Closer, huh?
I really gotta reframe my brain because I'm in a bad place right now.
Well, I'm not in a good place either. Honestly, I don't love my staff pick, Kelly. It is a film I have not seen all the way through. I have seen it.
What is it?
Parts of it. It's from 1989.
Okay.
Friday the 13th, Part 8.
Yep. Nope. I haven't seen it.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh well, I mean it's a logical pick.
I hope this works.
I hope it does too.
Great.
I wonder how much they had to pay to get rights to this from Frank.
You cut away from her when she coughs like that?
She's doing a fucking great job. You leave
Wonderful.
her alone.
So we've got just a dramatic shot of Jason Voorhees here arriving in the Big Apple.
He's got a fancy jacket.
Looking at that lovely skyline. Opportunity fill in his eyes, you know. He spent so much time in the woods.
It's a real awkward long shot there.
This is a wild theatrical trailer. I should have screened this before, picking it, but I think this would have sold me. Uh-oh.
Ooh, Subway even.
13, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
He's just a menace, this guy.
New York has a new problem.
Okay, so what you need to do is find an AI manifestation of that voice, that like reader's voice.
Yeah.
And use it for everything we do.
Well, Whitmer Thomas advertising The Civil Dead, which I believe is available on VOD now. They used a Joe Biden voice simulator, but did a low voice, and it ended up sounding like movie voice guy. So if you're looking,
so tell me about The Civil Dead.
There's a review up for it at Frightday.com, and I did an interview with the director out of Slam Dance maybe a year and a couple months ago. So you can definitely check it out at Frightday.com, and if you've listened to this podcast, the interview is in the feed.
Byron, you're wearing a hat.
Oh.
Product placement. We look like we're shilling.
Oh, no, it's a great film.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite films of the year.
I love it.
So Michelle likes it too.
Okay.
She's nodding. Great. Good taste. I think this is a bad movie. Mass murderer Jason Voorhees is resurrected from the bottom of Crystal Lake, of course, after he kills a passing boat's occupants, much like Dracula did, right? Isn't that what he did when he was shipping over from the old country?
I think so.
He stows away on a cruise ship filled with high school graduating class bound for New York City. Biology teacher Charles McKoy is on board with his niece, Rennie, who has visions of Jason drowning as a child. They escape his bloody shipboard revenge, but then when Rennie and Charles reach Manhattan, Jason is close by. So they lure him into the big city after some boat trouble. James Hedden. You ever hear that name?
No.
Directed this thing. This is his first feature that he wrote and directed, which
Really?
is kind of wild, especially back in 1989. It felt like a lot more people had to prove themselves before getting these kind of larger breaks.
Okay, so we're calling Friday the 13th 8?
8. It played in movie theaters, though. Like, it was big back then. They didn't just give films like this to maybe they did.
I think they might
Maybe
have.
they did. But this guy went on to do some kind of cool stuff. 2011, he did a rom-com called You May Not Kiss the Bride. Starred Catherine McPhee, Kathy Bates, Rob Schneider, and Mina Suvari.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, The Condemned. It was a direct-to-VOD or DVD starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. He also did a TV movie called Kidnapped in Paradise and another one called Alien Fury Countdown to Invasion in 2000. So, yeah. I don't know, man. There was a point where I was wanting to watch all of the Friday the 13th films.
I don't know why I have no interest in those.
Are you more
weird.
of a Freddy
No,
Freddy fella?
I've never liked either of them, which is
Okay.
weird.
You're not a slasher person.
No, I'm really
But you
not.
like Michael.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't explain it. That really isn't very logical, is it, Byron?
Okay. It's fine. You can pick one. You don't have to like them all.
Yeah, well, that's the only one I like.
I don't know. I think I like the idea. Wasn't he on a talk show? He was on like Arsenio Hall in Jason Takes Manhattan.
The term deranged sociopath gets thrown around a lot by the media, but it really applies to my next guest. Starting today, you can see him in Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Please welcome Jason.
And that's kind of fun.
I love how you're saying that to me, like
It's a little
you were
meta.
asking me.
I'd be curious to rewatch this. But what do you think folks should check out?
Well,
Is it better than mine?
I mean, I think the movie's better. I don't know that the match is as good, though, because it doesn't take place in New York.
Okay.
It's just...
Oh, I should mention why I picked that. Sorry.
Oh,
My
yeah.
gosh, I can't believe I almost stepped over this. The mask in Jason Takes Manhattan was a reference point for the boys who did Scream 6, you know, the kind of aged, worn mask that you see in tonight's featured
interesting.
film. So that was kind of where they took that inspiration.
Fascinating. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. I picked another movie that was down the line a little bit in a famous franchise.
Okay.
And it's a franchise unlike Friday the 13th that I really, really like. The Paranormal Activity franchise.
Oh. Do you need a cough drop?
I already
lozenge?
You know those little like
Which Paranormal Activity though?
3.
Okay, we'll watch the trailer then.
This one I think is actually the scariest Paranormal Activity. It's the origin story.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, here we go.
1988.
And we get to meet Toby.
Ladies.
Very close to my
it's
selection as
Katie.
well.
Katie, wave hi to the camera, Katie.
You know I like the VHS.
Christy, you want to say hi?
So Katie from Paranormal Activity 1, the regular one,
Here, Christy.
this is her when she was little.
I'm familiar.
This really makes me want to
Whatever
watch this with
happened
the
to us
girls.
when we were little, I don't remember anything.
Whatever
Sisters?
it was, it thrived on fear. The more
Behind
we
the
paid attention to it, the worse it got.
So does this bounce a bit back into present day?
Okay, I think it's
Yep.
Okay.
on. Remember the rules? And
Oh.
say Bloody Mary 3 times. Okay, I'm gonna turn off lights.
Not cool.
You don't do Bloody
Did you
Mary?
ever do this when you were a kid?
I had no friends.
I did it once.
Bloody Mary.
freaks me out
Bloody
just watching it.
Mary.
See? She doesn't like it either. She's freaking out. She doesn't like it.
She's freaking out. No?
Stop! I'm sorry.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Well, that's not going to help your throat.
So scary.
The chat is suggesting you chew ginger and turmeric mixed with honey.
Oh, that's really actually fantastically nice. I have been doing the ginger and the honey, and Sam did make me curry last night with turmeric, but
Very nice.
yeah.
Well, and that's one of those benefits of tuning in live. I know this was a little bit short notice, but next
everyone.
month folks can, chat along with us.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity 3, you kind of talked through it. A lot of...
It's an origin story, but it flashes back to the present day. It's about the sisters growing up and where this whole story started, where the haunting started, what the story is behind the ghost in the attic, and their imaginary friend named Toby. Wow, does it scare me, even that trailer. Whoa.
And
between that and the weird kidnapping intro video, I'm going to have nightmares.
So do you have any thoughts about the director of this film, Ariel Schulman?
I guess Christopher Land and Oren Peli co-wrote it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Henry Jost and Ariel Schulman directed it.
Do you know anything about Ariel?
Isn't he the guy that came up with Catfish or something?
So he's the brother of Neve from Catfish. But yes, he was in the 2010 highly overlooked documentary Catfish. A lot of people get hung up on the MTV show. The documentary is like
it was fascinating. I agree.
Incredible.
And it's like it's overdone now.
The show has its place. I still think it's great hotel watching stuff. Like between that, Bar Rescue, and there's got to be something else that'd be fun to watch.
I don't know.
Impractical Jokers, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's fun.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember it being really, really good.
Yeah. Ariel's done a lot of great stuff in genre, like he did. I mean, I don't know about great stuff. Let's pump the brakes. Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, something called Nerve. Do you remember that one? It was Emma Roberts and Dave Franco, like near future.
Ooh, Franco.
Yeah.
Oh, the good one, though. That's right.
Yeah. And then a film,
about that.
I think for Blumhouse, called Viral, that was not terrible, but I think...
And it's interesting. It looks like he does direct with Henry Jost pretty frequently, like Viral. They did that together.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you that I think this is the best Paranormal Activity. Overall, it's not my franchise.
Oh, gosh. It spooks me. It spooks me. And then the involvement with the grandmother also freaks me out. Yeah, if I showed this to my girls, then they would never hang out with my mother again.
Is this a creepy kid film?
Yep.
All right. Put it in the subgenre for sure.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But it's a creepy kid film in a way that it's not like the origin of the creep isn't the kids. It just encompasses the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Real good, though. Better than yours. But it doesn't take place in New York.
Sorry.
And it's only 3, not 6 or 8. But.
Well, before we lock up, oh, gosh, Dennis is not here, so fucking Jesus Christ. I'd like to take a second to welcome and initiate some new members into the Frightday Society. There we go. But before that, we've got ourselves a concerned citizen. So, Mage, I appreciate you. I see you. Thanks for your support. But not a member.
Oh.
Just a concerned citizen.
Nice.
We have a new member of the Inner Circle, Kelly.
Oh, boy.
Welcome. Welcome. Camille C., who I believe is in the chat.
Hi, Camille.
Actually, which is very fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And we need to write a letter. I think it's my turn. I think I went to, what was the name of the museum? Museum of Motion Picture and Arts or something? Close? Academy of Motion I don't know.
That sounds right.
But I took a lot of great photos there and some stuff from my vacation. So maybe I'll write a quick little.
Did you catch any ghosts in your photos?
Not that I never look for ghosts in my photos.
You should.
It's not something that I instinctively do. But
look for orbs.
I don't think that orbs are indicative of extra supernatural stuff.
Paranormal?
Thank you.
You're trying to say.
I'm fucking blazed.
You clearly are.
I'm out of my gourd right now.
Wow.
No, I'm fine. It's been a long week. But, so it's my turn to write the letter. So Inner Circle folks get a correspondence physical with us. So keep your eyes on the,
lovely.
In your physical inbox.
Physical.
Let's, I guess, get this initiation over with. Raise your left hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Promise to dedicate my available time to the exploration and advancement of the frightening. I'm going to start over the music, I guess.
You should loop it.
I could, but I'm doing a podcast. I need a sound guy. Dennis. Did I say the exploration was the frightening?
Oh.
Is now my responsibility to be an example of rational curiosity sympathy and decency as I explore the macabre. Camille, welcome to the Frightday Society.
Welcome, Camille.
Wonderful. Great. I think we're a little late on this one, but we're also technically kind of early because, to my knowledge, this is going to be out on Paramount, but it has not yet released.
Paramount Plus?
Probably.
Do we have that one?
Yes, we do. It's time for us to take a little break.
Definitely got to get that login.
And then talk about Scream 6.
Scream 6.
This is smooth.
It's great.
It's great.
Nobody gives a shit.
Who fucking cares? I don't give a shit. I care a little bit.
I'm so worried about you right now.
Why? I'm fine.
Okay.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Scream 6 is a 2023 American slasher film directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, written by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick.
Ooh.
As the survivors of the most recent attack in Woodsboro travel to New York City for college, our final girl begins to experience manic psychological... You're going to have to pardon me. I don't know why this has done this.
Oh, you're pardoned?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Need some gummy bears?
No.
Okay.
They got weed in them.
Wow.
That's a joke. As the survivors of the recent... Come on, guys. As the survivors of the recent attack in Woodsboro travel to New York City for college, Tara, our final girl, begins to experience manic psychological breakdowns while seeing the ghosts of past killers. Meanwhile, her sister Sam attempts to manipulate her by pretending to be Ghostface. But when their plan goes wrong, 3 new masked killers appear on the scene, leaving the question of who will survive and who will be the final victim left to be answered. Ooh. So obviously you weren't listening because this is a fake synopsis that Alamo Drafthouse put out.
Well, the last victim left to be answered didn't make much sense.
Yeah, and the whole Sam attempting to manipulate Tara by pretending to be Ghostface, that's kind of weird, huh? The real synopsis here: 4 survivors of the Ghostface murders leave Woodsboro behind for a fresh start in New York City. However, they soon find themselves in a fight for their lives when a new killer embarks on a bloody rampage. Kelly, we've talked a bunch about radio silence.
Yep.
Specifically Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. I don't know if we should rehash that. You can go back to episode 303 where we covered Scream 2022, technically Scream 5.
Why didn't they call it? Oh, that bothers me.
Okay.
I have beef with that.
Well, call up Tyler and
like,
Matt.
Why? Oh.
It was a you know why they did that in 2022. It was like the whole meta like reboot conversation.
Yeah. So then why did they call this one 6 then?
Because we're back to form. You think they would call it Scream 2 basically? Like,
yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah.
No,
actually,
it was a commentary on the reboot. No what did they call it in that film? The
requel.
Requel, exactly.
Yep, it was a requel.
So I thought maybe we should focus a little bit on the writers, James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick.
But wait.
What?
I would like to point out that there are some fun Easter eggs referencing our directors.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so...
Alkaline Trio was in the soundtrack, and I know that Tyler worked at Asian Man Records and did music videos for them.
Okay, more importantly,
could have been Matt, actually. I don't know.
Matt directed Ready or Not.
Yep.
And...
he wrote it with...
And Samara Weaving opens up our movie here.
Very true.
Them working together again. And I don't know if you caught this, but in the subway scene, there is a Samara Weaving bride gown.
From Ready or Not.
Ready or Not.
So Guy Busick actually wrote Ready or Not.
There you go.
So I guess he is probably technically part of the whole radio silence team, but...
writers never get as much credit.
That's true, but he's written a lot of stuff. He wrote, his first film was 2016's film Urge.
I don't know anything about that one. I was going to say, I hope I'm not supposed to know about that because I don't.
It was a story credit, but then he did some work on Stan Against Evil, which that was an interesting period in time.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same as when Adam Green and
nope,
those
not
guys
that one.
had that movie Crypt show.
Didn't like that.
Where that was an interesting little period. They did 3 episodes of Stand Against Evil, then did Ready or Not, an episode of Castle Rock, 2 of them actually, which that kind of went away quick.
Yeah, I
Who
missed
was
that
Castle Rock?
actually. I thought that was pretty good.
It was like a merging of Stephen King stories, basically.
Yeah.
And then, of course, wrote Scream and this film, Scream 6. But James Vanderbilt, also a very interesting character. He wrote Zodiac in 2007.
Is he a Vanderbilt?
He is a member of the Vanderbilt family. Yeah, that's very interesting. Son of Allison Campbell and Alfred Gwynn Vanderbilt III.
I bet we could get some people spinning some pretty great conspiracy theories about...
Oh, come on now. This isn't nepotism or anything.
I'm not talking about nepotism. I was talking about, like, crazy freaking...
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Illuminati infusing...
One of the families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I do not believe, for the record.
First film this guy wrote, Darkness Falls in 2003.
I actually like that
That
movie.
wasn't too bad.
I like that movie.
And then something called The Rundown, which was an American buddy comedy.
I loved that.
Peter Berg.
I loved that movie.
That's funny. It stars Dwayne Johnson, early Dwayne.
Yeah.
Right?
That was the first movie I actually remember liking
Sean
him.
William Scott and Dwayne Johnson. I do remember that. A little bit of a break before Zodiac. And then I thought this was Loser with the guy from American Pie, Jason Biggs, but it's The Losers, which is another Peter Berg action film. But another big break, though, to 2012, Amazing Spider-Man, which was, I think technically we would call it the worst of the 3 modern Spider-Man. I'm fine. Did the second one, did White House Down, which is in no, that's a different one. I was going to say it's in that, the one with Gerard Butler, where he's always protecting the president from terrorists.
Oh, yeah, like White House Down.
Yeah, so White House Down is a different one. But
really?
Independence Day Resurgence wrote that one as well. And produced Slender Man, as well as House with a Clock on the Walls, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, here we are. Produced Ambulance. Interesting. Seems like this guy just might have a ton of money, you know?
Might.
This Vanderbilt guy,
like
huh?
Some money to throw around.
I guess so. But here we are. I saw this in the theater. And you did as well.
I did too. Byron, you were so proud of me.
Yes. You got out of the house with one of your pals. How was your experience?
It was very fun. It was the first time I'd been to the theater in a while.
Was it dine-in style?
It was.
Okay.
We just got popcorn, though.
Nothing crazy.
No, but it was nice and empty.
So, do you recline all the way?
Oh, yes, always.
Okay, just making sure.
Always.
Do you recline all the way? Yeah, I've noticed that.
I'm a full recline.
You don't like to...
I bring a spare pair of socks, take my shoes off, put a spare pair of socks on.
That's twisted and gross.
Well, I try to be less gross by bringing a spare pair of socks to put on.
Well, you brought gummy bears from TJ Maxx. Who buys food at TJ Maxx?
I buy gummy bears at TJ Maxx all the fucking time.
Right, you're a lunatic. But audience was fine for you?
Yeah, it was a very quiet audience. I think there were like 3 other people in the theater, so that was great.
I went on opening night, which is the same thing I did with Scream 5/Scream 2022.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Respectful crowd. Great.
That's good, because it's kind of hit or miss.
Appropriate responses. I was starting to get worried that the young folks just weren't going to understand like etiquette, because I've read a lot of articles and seen a lot of YouTube videos of people coming out of the pandemic and going to concerts and misbehaving. A lot of people like trying to out-sing people like Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift.
Didn't Billie Eilish just stop singing in the middle of a show to like...
I think she may have, and it's silly and embarrassing, but...
I really like her.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about this audience. Yeah, no complaints. 10 out of 10 experience.
Amazing.
Yeah. Do we want to walk through this? I mean, we've got your traditional cold open, misdirect.
Although it's very different.
It is a bit different.
It immediately breaks the rules in a few ways.
Okay.
So, like, it's not an isolated setting. We've got a film professor at a bar waiting for a blind date who's Samara Weaving. And the first problem I had is we're supposed to believe that Samara Weaving is nervous for her blind date. I'm like, yeah. I bet Samara Weaving gets super nervous about whether somebody who walks in the door
professional model, basically,
is going to want to hang out or not. But
she's a professor.
She is a film professor specifically.
Mm-hmm. With a focus on horror. Yeah.
Yep. And gets a call. Her date can't find the place. It's very clearly like a ghost face call, but it's supposed to be just a blind date call.
Mm-hmm.
Lures her out of the restaurant/bar because she's trying to signal to him where she is. And then a whole sequence ensues. She ends up in an alley, and it's really creepy because both ends of the alley, you can see people. It's not that isolated. Like,
Which
it isn't an alley.
I kind of ran through my head, like, how many of these ghost face experiences happen in public? And it's not rare. Like,
but isn't it rare for the openings?
Yeah, I would say so. Usually it's isolation.
And I think that really set the stage that, okay, well, this obviously is taking place in New York City.
New ghost face.
But even though it's in New York City doesn't mean that you're going to be safer because people are around, because nobody's paying any attention. I mean, I guess
you can't. I mean, if you're participating in a large city.
I mean, if you're walking by an alley, I mean, I feel like I would notice
if
a girl getting
screaming,
stabbed.
Yeah,
I'd like to think I would notice. But she gets stabbed
by
Ghostface, but then immediately he takes his mask off.
We're probably going to do, which is very interesting. We're probably going to do some spoilers at this point. I don't know.
Does the opener count as a spoiler?
For folks who haven't seen this, I think it would be good to enjoy this moment in,
Okay.
Kind of. So I'll give you a few seconds, but you've had some time. If not, skip 30 seconds, 15 skip. I don't know. The killer's Tony Revolori.
Yeah, he's Toby from Servant.
Yeah, great guy. Solid actor. He's in Spider-Man Homecoming as well. I think a lot of people recognize him from, but for me it is Servant as well.
And it was weird because he's real sweet in Servant, and in this I was like, whoa, you're a bad guy.
Kind of a bad guy.
Kind of a bad guy?
Kind of a bad guy. Killed a woman. His professor. He's a film student. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Okay? Don't look at my girlfriend like that.
Just making sure she doesn't want to run is all.
What if the switching just stopped? The cameras are no
See you
longer
later,
switching.
Michelle.
It's black.
I love it.
And Grand Budapest Hotel, good point in the chat. Also said, yum, expired imported food. About
Okay, it is not expired.
I don't know.
It doesn't expire for another 13 months.
Disgusting.
It expires in May
Foul.
of 2024. Oh my God, you people are ridiculous.
He comes home. Him and his roommate are preparing their ghost face killing spree.
Mm-hmm.
We get kind of an inside look into something like a Billy and Stu type situation.
And we know immediately that they do have a connection to Tara.
Yes. They go to school at Tara, right?
Yep, college.
Yeah. So it was really, I was like, how long are we writing out this perspective? Because this POV is kind of fun. Like, to be on the inside, it is a twist. It's a very different Scream style.
Doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't, because Ghostface, the real Ghostface, or another real Ghostface,
dirty Ghostface,
filthy Ghostface is in the apartment. Has already taken care of one of the Ghostface killers and shoved him inside a refrigerator. Violent film.
Very violent.
I like that Scream 6 goes fucking hard. Like, the stabs on Samara were gnarly.
Oh.
I would say that this is probably the most violent Scream film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although...
Body just dismembered in a fridge. Yeah.
Oh, see, I feel bad because most of the things that I want to say are just spoilers, but...
Okay. Well, just be careful. Tread lightly.
Okay.
I mean, if you have to think that hard. It looks like she's got... Are you planning something?
I agree that it is a very bloody Scream movie, and I agree that the head count is very high.
Yeah.
But the rebirth count is also very high.
The rebirth meaning the number of participants.
No, I mean, like, the number of people who, like, there is no way that they're still alive, but they're still alive.
Ah, I see what you're saying. I mean, that kind of throws back to all of the originals of people you think are deceased who may not be.
I guess that's true.
But, I mean, it's a little bit more wild style in this
It was
one.
a bit crazy.
Yeah. Sam and Tara, they back.
Yep. Bit of a toxic big sister, little sister sitch.
Well, how do you feel about that? Oh my gosh.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
The therapy appointment that I always forget her name, Sam Carpenter, Melissa Barrera.
Okay, so 2 things. The therapist is Ethan's traitorous agent in Mission Impossible 1.
Never seen it. I should watch all of the Mission Impossible movies, right?
You should. I mean, they're really fun movies.
Okay.
Point number 2, he's a fucking shitty therapist.
Not great. I don't think that's
so bad.
The appropriate response when someone
so
comes
fucking
clean.
bad.
Sam got it bad after the events of the last film.
Yeah.
There's rumors abound that she was actually the person who was the killer and framed her
boyfriend.
Spoiler for the last film, her boyfriend.
Tough shit, you guys.
Yeah, sorry, folks. Which is fun. I like this new social media Gen Z rumor mill kind of.
Really? Because I hate it. I think it's going to burn our country down.
Oh, it will, but I think it's good to reference it.
I agree.
think it was a very effective tool to put this conspiracy theory into, like, give it some air. And, it's...
Well, and to see how that plays out in real time with people around her.
Yeah.
Like, recognizing her and, like, yelling at her because...
Calling her a fucking murderer.
They think they know... Yeah. You don't know me?
Sam could have composed herself a little bit.
I don't blame her. She's pretty fucked up.
She's a victim.
She's had a lot of shit
So
happen
probably
to her.
shouldn't be. I'm blaming her at all. But yeah, she follows her younger sister, Tara, played by Jenna Ortega. This is really interesting because we've got ourselves a new Jenna Ortega. I mean, same Jenna Ortega, but a lot has happened.
A lot has
since
happened.
the last film.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I have to go get more water. I'm going to lose my mind.
Oh, you're going to cough again.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm so sorry. Keep talking, Byron.
I'd just like to say at this point again, I called Jenna Ortega. I knew she was going to be a star, and it made me super uncomfortable that I was like, this young lady is going to be the biggest horror star on the planet. Turns out I'm right. And if there was a stock market for actresses... My Bitcoin's bad. Our Bitcoin's bad because I put all the Frightday money in Bitcoin. How many Bitcoins do we have? None. No full Bitcoins. Sorry. I fucked up, okay? But, I mean, yeah, we've got, like, Jenna has done some pretty massive horror films, and she's Wednesday Addams, and now, I mean, I think that's probably a lot to do with the success of this film. Like, people coming out on opening day because of Wednesday Addams.
Well, which brings me to a question. People are saying, like, is there going to be a next one? How could there not be a next one?
I guarantee you it's already in the works.
Like, they made so much fucking money. Why would there not be another one? I do wonder, are they going to call this one, like, Scream 3? Or are they going to call it Scream 8?
It's going to be Scream 7, or it'll be Scream something. I mean...
I really get bothered by
$105 million in U.S. and Canada, and 57.8 in other territories.
What was the cost to make it?
Oh, I don't know how much it cost.
All right, you keep talking. I'll find that. I can find that.
I'm just saying. So, Tara has grown up a bit though, and she wants a little bit of space from her sister Sam. She wants to live her life. She wants to move past the trauma of what happened in Woodsboro and explore this fresh start. And it's Halloween. She wants to go to a college party. But she's not the only one from Woodsboro that followed.
No.
She's got some friends. What did they call them?
Core 4.
The Core 4. Thank you.
Which, you want to hear something funny, Byron?
Yeah?
I guess it's not that funny. Okay. I had not watched Yellow Jackets yet.
Sure.
So when I did watch Yellow Jackets, like, that was my point of reference for Jasmine Savoy Brown was, oh, it's the girl from Scream.
Sure. Okay.
She's great in this. I think it's funny because for whatever reason, you know me, Byron, I have very little recollection of last year's Scream. Other than it didn't suck, I really don't have a whole lot. Yeah, I'm sure I did, but like, it's not necessarily a testament to whether it was good or not. My brain's just weird, and I don't necessarily keep a lot of things in front storage.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, this one resonated much more with me. And like, those characters felt really compelling. I don't know if the last one, Scream 5/Scream
2022,
felt like it was just doing so much reframing that I didn't like attach as much to the characters.
It's a little distracting. I also think that the performances were worse in Scream 5.
This was really, like, I really liked the characters. Now, don't get me wrong.
Sam. I thought Sam in Scream 5 was a disaster.
I thought she
shouldn't have been outshined by Jenna Ortega, her little sister, who was like a minor character in Scream 5. Like,
yeah.
In every single scene, she was outacted by her little sister. So,
yeah.
And even Mindy Meeks, you know, when she was trying to be the Randy character in the last film, it got lost a bit. She had like a one good monologue in Scream 5, but otherwise it was kind of a mess. And the same for Chad Meeks Martin, played by Mason Gooding, the son of Cuba Gooding Jr., of course.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that makes much more sense now.
His character developed so much.
Oh,
in this film.
Very nuanced. I also think it's just, this is probably because I've been watching so much stuff about just shifting norms and expectations. And I think that playing a teenage college male who isn't supposed to be douchey and isn't supposed to be creepy and is supposed to be caring, I think it's actually a really hard line to play.
It is, because it's not necessarily, it's sadly not the stereotype.
It's not the stereotype, and it's also just, it's not as interesting or like emotion invoking.
Sure.
And I think he did a really good job of playing. He wasn't the primary character by any stretch, but I think he played his role in the film really well and played off of things that were going on. And it felt very normal and logical to me, the way that all of these characters interacted living together in their apartment. And like, it didn't sit as weird with me.
Well, even his reintroduction at the house party that Tara goes to, where he stops kind of a sketchy dude who's trying to get her drunk and take advantage of her. He stops them from going upstairs together, but in like a not Dawson's Creekified kind of way.
Right.
Like,
but that's what I mean. Like, to be a protector without being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard thing. And I think he did a really good job in this.
I agree. And credit to him, his performance, and also the direction. Like,
I agree.
I think that those guys do a wonderful job. The Radio Silence team, I know they don't call themselves that anymore, but just for the sake of like clustering them all together, it's easier. Yeah.
Not to jump on your Jenna Ortega bandwagon, but I think her performance was also very important, because she could have played her role even slightly differently and it would have been very annoying. Sure. Because the whole I'm pissed off at my big sister and my friends for trying to protect me, I don't need protection, is like a very normal, rational response, but also pushed too far is just wildly stereotypical and annoying. Yeah. And I think she made it very human and, you know, tempered it with what a normal human would probably do. Like, okay, I'm really pissed off. And then I realized, like, actually you're doing these for the right reasons. And I need to tell you why you don't need to do this, rather than just being like a snotty, stuck-up brat about it, which I think most horror movie tropes would put it into that frame. Like
everyone watching can understand her psychology a little bit. Like, she's not mad at her sister. She's mad at what
exactly
happens.
Kat's point, not a white knight, just a decent guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's tough to play sometimes.
It is, and I think it's tough to do it in a way that is interesting to watch, because it's just not sensational.
Speaking of watching, Danny Brackett, the neighbor character.
Oh yeah.
Josh Segura. It's not Segura, it's Segura, maybe. Yep. I don't know anything about this guy. Apparently he was in Arrow. He was in the film Sirens, which I believe was the sequel to Siren, which was not a Radio Silence project, but VHS, which was Radio Silence adjacent. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Shannona and I fought the whole movie about whether he was the bad guy or not.
I like it. A lot of red herrings, a lot of new. I mean, they even reference like meta jokes about how he's the new guy. That's where the core four comes in. But like their Randy Meeks-esque breakdowns of like, all right, we've been through this before. Like, they go through the list of who is the suspect. And of course, I mean, this guy, Danny, like, Sam has kind of led all of the people close to her to believe that she is, in full protection mode, and she is like unblinking in that. But she's got a secret.
She does have a secret,
and that is that she's in a relationship with a man in the apartment building that they live in.
Next, is it the same apartment? I guess it is the same apartment.
Technically,
building.
but it is across the way because there's like outside windows that cross. I don't know. I don't know how buildings
they can
in New
see
York
into
work.
each other's window.
Yeah, and I mean that comes in handy.
It is important for some of the scenes.
Kind of gnarly, scary things happen in that apartment. But I like Danny. I think he's a fun character. I like that he adds a little bit of like, could he be the bad guy? Is that too obvious? But then they kind of play on that whole concept of too obvious pretty much repeatedly.
They do. Although, a couple things about our neighbor Danny.
Sure.
Small apartments, New York City.
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck has a full-size ladder just sitting in the open in their teeny tiny New York apartment?
I thought a lot about this because I was jogging and you called me and wanted to have a full conversation with me about this.
Yep.
Yeah, it was snowing and I was running, but after we hung up, I thought a little bit about this. We don't know his profession, Kelly. He could be a carpenter.
Doesn't matter.
He looks like he's physically built like a man who makes things.
Doesn't matter. First of all, that is very stereotypical.
Yes.
But also, doesn't matter. He still lives in a tiny New York apartment.
Maybe he stored his ladder in there. I don't know.
It's very illogical.
Listen, you know what's really odd about our conversation so far?
What?
We've not mentioned a single legacy character. And that's what I love about this film.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even...
Gale Weathers?
Yeah, Gale.
Well, we can also mention shout-outs to Neve Campbell. This is the first one without Sidney Prescott. I back her. I think she should have gotten paid whatever she wanted.
Oh, I agree.
That would have been
totally
100%
agree.
reasonable. That being said, I wish that there was none of the legacy characters, honestly.
See, I liked the legacy characters.
You like Gale Weathers?
Well,
Courtney
okay.
Cox is
so
back.
I'm going to go ahead and just walk you through a attempted growth journey that my brain went on. So I have a really big hang up with judging women who get really shitty plastic surgery.
And I knew that this was coming.
Like, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And part of it is I just feel like you shouldn't do it because even people with a lot of money, it goes fucking haywire.
Yeah.
But then if I'm not being an asshole, I also understand that like we've created a society in which women feel like if they want to remain working in their field,
and specifically in Hollywood,
they have to do that.
Yeah.
And they are pushed to do that. And I think it was really hard for me to watch because it was very clear Courtney Cox has had a lot of work done, and I'm sure has had work done so that she can keep her career going, because we live in a fucked up universe where it's okay for dudes to get old, but it's not okay for women to get old. And like a perfect example is Dermot Mulroney in this movie, who didn't have to look any different than his normal fucking age.
That's a great
to
point.
play a role that everybody was all excited about because everybody remembers him from My Best Friend's Wedding, and he was like the hot dude then, and now he's like the dad, and it's fun to watch. But Courtney Cox still has to be the sex symbol, otherwise nobody wants to hire her, and so she gets all this work done, and holy fuck, it's bad. It's really bad, and I feel really bad for her, and then I felt really bad for thinking about how bad it was.
I'm glad that you went on this journey.
And it was really hard to watch at times because I was like, yeah, it looks scary, but I just couldn't stop thinking about like, oh my God, look what people have fucking done to this poor woman. Like, look at what she has had to do to herself. Like, it's just fucking gross.
I don't know if she would like you to say that to her face. But
well, no, what's interesting is I've heard her talk about it, little bits of interviews.
Well, I think,
and her like acknowledging
her Cougar Town era.
She was
I think
like,
she probably had to.
She was like, fuck, I didn't realize how bad. And like, it is. I mean, it's like anything else in an industry where all you are being valued for is the way you look.
Yeah.
And it's just really shitty when you can juxtapose it against like somebody in the exact same profession who's being valued for something much more relevant to his actual profession.
I also think her performance sucked. It was bad.
I just felt like it was very Gale Weathersy.
Exactly. Which
was fine for me.
So that's the weird thing is we're almost merging two different films. And like tonally, they're very different. But like of course, I mean, you have to respect the source material, but when you add like the kind of goofiness of the Scream 1, 2, 3 into this new requel style elevated horror world, they feel weird.
Well, and so again, continuity shit, which this is dumb to nitpick, but okay, so we're only a year later.
Yeah.
Okay. Somehow in that time, Gail has become so wealthy that she has a fucking batshit expensive penthouse
yeah.
in New York City.
Overlooking Central Park.
Like, makes no sense
Well,
that she would have made...
how many books has she written at this point, though?
Published. Yeah, but like, I guess maybe.
She's written a few.
But was she that rich in the last one?
I don't remember if we ever saw it, because she, I think, maybe flew into Woodsboro.
Okay.
I don't think she lived in Woodsboro.
Okay.
So it was hard to say.
Anyhow.
But I mean, Nev's character, Sydney, like, she looked like she was doing pretty well. She's like jogging in like athletic.
Okay.
Can we
compare the expensive, like nice athletic wear
versus a
penthouse overlooking?
I'm just saying
Central
that none
Park?
of them are struggling financially, other than Deputy Dewey. Remember?
Well, he's dead.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, he's dead. But yeah, anyhow, it was hard for me to watch. It was actually, I love Dermot Mulrooney's character, actually, which we can talk more about.
I don't know how much we should.
It was difficult to watch those two compared in my brain to like, wow, two people from the same acting generation, one of whom has
honestly,
been allowed to be a human and the other one who has not.
A year older Dermot is.
Yep, there you go.
Which is crazy.
Fuck it, there you go. He's also, I've heard a couple interviews with him about the movie. He sounds really fun.
Good. I mean, I was glad to see him. I don't know. His character was interesting. I don't know. It felt like it was leaning more towards the kind of goofier perspective.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I thought it was interesting. And it was having a paternal figure in the story, because Dermot Mulrooney plays a police officer who's also one of their roommates' fathers. And he has followed the roommate to New York to be a police officer there because their mother had passed away.
And he had lost his son.
Yep. And so he wanted to be there.
So in a way, yeah, I mean, one of the themes of this film is like, you know, I don't know, family control, like...
Yep.
And legacy as well, which, I mean, that's kind of a theme.
Helping for someone else's sake versus helping for your own anxiety.
Yeah. Horny roommate, fun character. It's just a new version of the Tatum, which I think was kind of missing in the last film.
Yeah. God, it's so hard, because then really there's very little we can talk about any of those characters without giving shit away.
Most certainly. Yeah, I don't know how much we really need to get into that. We don't have much of an inciting incident yet, other than like Samara Weaving's character is dead. And then the therapist, is that the next one?
Well, in the night of the party, they find out that this killing has taken place, and Sam starts to worry immediately that something is happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
And the rest of the core four kind of tries to hold on to this idea that, oh, maybe it's actually just a coincidence, like it was Halloween, whatever.
There's
it
a
might
lot
not
of screen
be.
masks.
Yeah. And then additional incidents happen that make it clear that, no, this is like an actual orchestrated effort that is taking place, and they do need to be worried. And I think, again, watching Jenna Ortega deal with the present situation rather than being vindictive and juvenile about being pissed at her sister, I just think that the relationship there was played very well too.
Yeah. How do you feel about Ghostface learning how to shoot guns?
It's fine.
You know, it doesn't rub you the wrong way. You're totally okay with it.
Nope. We moved to a city.
The rules, I mean, that's kind of the thing, is we're saying rules don't matter. That's like
gun safety in city is a much bigger issue.
He was really good with a gun.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could. Yep,
we certainly could. Kirby's back.
I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was so cheesy and fun.
Kirby Reed, played by Hayden Panettiere. I can never say that right.
Panettiere, I think. Is that right? I don't know. Just say it fast. That's always my solution.
That's good. First appeared in Scream 4, but people act like she's been around forever.
Yeah, in my head. In fact, I was talking to Shanoa in the movie theater. I was like, oh yeah, this is one of the characters that you played. She's like, no, I didn't.
No.
I was like, yeah, it is. You read her part. You read Kirby's part.
I think you thought Kirby was the female deputy. Like
Nope.
no.
Nope.
All
I
right.
just and Chanel's like, Kelly, I really never have read
played
that
it.
part. Sorry.
And we're talking about your friend performing in Camp Frightday when we
Yeah.
do those table reads, which I swear to God I'm going to get Camp Frightday 3 up. I promise. The video for it has not been easy for me to edit, but
I'm sorry.
because we were having some mic issues during the table reads, but
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to get it up. as
It's
soon as
okay if the
possible.
sound sucks, Byron. Everybody will forgive you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But it was Shanoa's mic that wasn't working, so great. So you might not
You
hear...
want me to have her come in and re-record?
If she could just do the whole thing one
Okay, I'll
more
call
time.
her.
Kirby, old school...
Leather jacket. She's an FBI agent now. It was like so cheesy, but fun.
Okay.
I thought.
It was fun. I don't know if we need to walk through like some intense moments. Ladders are interesting, like you said.
Fucking ladders, man.
I love when they stumble upon, was it Gail in her investigative journalism, came across the lair in the abandoned movie theater, which I gotta say, no place in New York would let a theater like that go to waste. Come on now.
You know that
Beautiful space.
Yeah, and money.
But whoever Ghostface was or is, which we're not going to talk about.
Nope, not going to talk about.
Putting together that shrine of memorabilia,
super terrifying,
murderabilia, I suppose. Wonderful, great set piece. I think it did overstay its welcome a little bit at the end.
See, I felt like they should have used it more.
I just think its usefulness ran out. I think that there's something else they could have done with it that they did not. But I love seeing them kind of nod to the previous killers and the masks and the subtle differences as the franchises move forward. I think that was really cool. And it was an interesting twist on like what could have been a boring meta version of a Scream film. So
I also think we aren't going to do the spoilers, but towards the end, I loved how much whiplash I got in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Like just all sorts of twists and turns and this is happening. No, actually, this is happening. No, actually, this is... I really liked that.
But it still gave me that kind of familiar feeling at the end. I was like, oh, this is a Scream film. Like, especially at the very end.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely felt like it was a passing of a torch in even a more significant way than they did in the last film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess it's time for highs and lows, right?
Oof.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. My low. Can we stop stabbing people in the same spot in the side? Like, remember last...
Is there like a reason for that, though?
I don't know. Why are these killers stabbing people? They don't stab anyone else in the side.
Is it easy because like there's not as much bone there, so you can like get in?
But it doesn't.
More?
But everyone who gets stabbed in the side just walks away fine, just like in the last film.
Well, I would
remember
argue
Courtney Cox, Nev Campbell, and Sam all got stabbed in the same spot in the side, and it was just—it's. Silly.
I would argue that unless you get stabbed in the head.
I think mid chest is you're bound to in the whatever in this world it's a little.
I think
different.
it's just head. If it's not head, you're fine.
Yeah, everyone's basically their own. I mean, everyone's Michael Myers in this film, I guess. But
yeah,
I just think that was. I mean, they really made an effort in one scene to be like, yeah, this is 100%. Everyone just gets stabbed in the side, like.
I mean, it's easy.
I know.
Like, I don't know, like a
little bit
force
higher.
thing, maybe.
My high, though.
Never stabbed anyone, so I don't really know.
I haven't either. Promise.
I actually haven't.
Me either, I swear. It was in the trailer, but for some reason in the theater, like this really worked for me. The subway tension.
It was good.
Holy shit! Like,
it was good.
I mean, I agree that those subways at night when you drop under between Brooklyn and Manhattan, where you're under the water and you have no cell service, it's pretty creepy. But they were able to like do that in a way that like really worked. I thought that was an incredible Ghostface piece of tension. So bravo, great work.
Great,
caught me off guard. How about you?
My low is the ladder. Nobody in New York has a full-size fucking ladder.
If you live in New York,
at the ready.
Contact at Frightday.com. Let us know.
Also, hot take. I fucking hate New York.
It's fine.
That city stresses.
I just got back from Los Angeles, and
I don't like Los Angeles either, but I like it better than New York.
Okay.
It's not quite as dense.
I like a subway being in a car is very stressful.
Subways stress me out. Cars stress me out.
Even when you have a great navigator.
Planes stress me out. I just like staying home.
You like being in your house.
Yeah, I'm turning into...
the old guy from Up.
I am.
Yeah. So, what was your high, did you say?
So, my low was the ladder.
Yeah.
I think that my high was, generally speaking, the cheesy superhero team stuff surrounding the core four.
Sure. Okay.
Which, when they first did that, I was like, oh, God, this is so cheesy. But I actually loved the way it ended up working. I love the way that the movie resolved. And
Chad Meeks did a great job of like kind of making the core four like endearing.
It was really endearing, and that was the high for me, was that relationship between those four. I think finally feeling more powerful than any of the Scream legacy stuff that was happening around
Trauma can bring you together, and you know, when you survive something like that, that can be your family, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I gotta tell you, I hope these guys never stop making these. Like,
they clearly aren't going
when
to.
When David Gordon Green took over the Halloween franchise, I was ready for him to stop after that last one. I think Matt and Tyler.
Oh, see, I like the last one the best.
It's fine.
It's just getting started.
Wonderful team. I'm not going to spoil my ranking of the Scream films because that's what we're doing on Behind the Screams.
I need to go watch. Everybody hates 3.
Well,
I'm going to go watch 3. That's the one I'm going to go watch.
This very well upper tier Scream film.
I was pretty fun.
Very entertained. It continued the spirit of the old films, but also like I'm converted. I'm like way more in. I mean, all respect to the original. This is very refreshing and super fun. I really enjoyed this film. I was nervous when we were going to New York. I'm ready for them to go to the Sky High Chili place.
I don't think that's a thing. And
pretty sure it's exactly Cincinnati.
Is it like Mile High Chili?
Mile High. That's Denver. Skyline Chili. I don't fucking know, but if that's where they are next, I'm watching.
If Delta has branded Sky Mile Chili in Cincinnati,
I give Scream 6 8.2 feet ladder. Foot ladder. Okay, I corrected. Don't laugh at me.
I'm just laughing at the ladder.
Yeah.
I wasn't even laughing at your grammar. I really wasn't. I promise. This movie was really fun. Scream will always be more Byron's thing than it is mine. Yeah. But he did guilt me into going to the theater to see it, and I'm very glad I did. It was very fun. Shout out to Shanoa. I'm really glad we got to see it together. It was a good date night. I give Scream 6/Scream 2.2 9.2.
How is it more my thing, but you go up a whole point higher?
Yeah, well, because I give high ratings to things.
Yeah,
you don't.
All right.
Let's be realistic about that.
Okay.
9.9. No. 9.2.
Jesus Christ.
9.2 uncomfortable Skeet Ulrich ghosts.
Yeah, I'll support that. And those are our thoughts on Scream 6, which is soon to be available on Paramount Plus. So it might even be out by the time we put this.
Could be.
Who knows? But keep your eye to it. I'm sure that a ton of you saw this in the theater. But once everyone has, I'd like to know your thoughts. Why don't you reach out to us on social media at Frightday on Twitter and Instagram. You could send us an email, contact at frightday.com. You could leave a comment below this episode's show notes at frightday.com. Or we could have a conversation about it in the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Frightday. I'm not there. I am at discord.frightday.com. That's where I like to hang out. Join us there. Let's discuss the show. And I believe that there's going to be some almost exclusive Discord content coming soon for folks who join us there.
Oh.
I don't have a structure or a concept for that.
Oh.
But I think it could be fun.
Hey, I'm proud of you for flying by the seat of your pants, man.
Well, I think I tried to call you during a jog once, but you don't pick up your phone anymore because you're too busy watching Chupa with your daughter.
So great.
And I guess this is just a quick announcement. Next week, our first family-friendly episode. One you can show your kiddos.
Yep.
With your ears, show them. They can listen to it.
You can have a listening party with your children.
That'll be kind of fun.
I'm not going to be swearing. I might be eating, though.
You probably will. You usually are.
Yep.
But if right now you're running dry, you could always join the Frightday Society because there's over 100 pieces of bonus content there. We have for every episode of this we have an episode of Behind the Screams, which is the show behind the show.
Yep.
There's also bonus episodes of Captain Kelly's Cryptids and Conspiracies, Byron's Show Corner, The Writer's Room, Toast to Toast PM with Wine Kelly, which we got to do that pretty soon.
Oh my God, now.
Last week we gave you a preview of Cinema Autopsy. There's a handful more episodes there, which is, of course, our commentary program. The first 10 episodes of the show, and so much more.
Don't join for those, but
well, they're interesting. Something about it.
You guys.
But thefrightdaysociety.org. It's only $6.66 a month. Check it out. Lots of stuff. What's going on?
Skyline Chili.
Skyline Chili. See, I'm not a fucking dumbass. Okay?
Sky Miles?
I didn't say Sky Miles. I think I probably said a lot of different things, if I'm being real. See, the benefits of the live show. I would love to know what people
Everybody
think
make
about this.
sure that you send Byron messages on Discord letting him know that he definitely said
Send
Sky
me
Mile.
pictures of Sky Mile chili, please. That would be great. But until next week, Kelly, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on email, kelly@frightday.com. I'm not even going to say Twitter anymore.
No, you're done.
I can't. Yeah, and I really am trying to pop on Discord more frequently.
Yeah. And I'm at Byron McKoy on Titter and Instagram. Byron@frightday.com is my email address. That's what Elon Musk, the sign says Titter now. It's pretty cool.
We are now we've just been rebranded as state-sponsored media. So.
Oh, cool. I actually would love that. I guess until next Frightday. I'm Byron.
I'm Kelly.
Stay. See, we didn't write a stay.
Stay out of the subways.
And stay scared.
Oh.
This is great. We can talk over this for just a second. It's coming in.
I can't hear it.
It's coming.
It's the Scream music, isn't it?
If you're listening live right now.
Is that from Scream?
Yeah.
It's from Scream, right?
This is what got, by the way, demonetized on
again?
YouTube. Yeah.
Fucking again?
Yeah.
How much did we lose?
How much money? I don't know if we should talk about it. You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy, theme music provided by Cemeteries. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.